Folks, it is happening right now. Today, President Donald J. Trump just dropped a hammer that is so heavy on Big Pharma, they're scrambling to cover their tracks. In the next 60 days, they either slash the price of your life-saving medications in half, or this administration will unleash every tool in their arsenal to make them pay. Finally, after 60 years of Americans being ripped off, there is a president fighting to put you first. But while President Trump is battling billion-dollar drug companies for your family's future, what are the clowns running our big cities doing right now? Well, they're setting your tax dollars on fire. Nearly $700 million blown in Chicago alone, not on schools, not on safer streets, not on struggling families, but on hotel rooms, handouts, and chaos for people who broke our laws to get in here. Chicago's mayor would rather put $700 million into the pockets of illegal migrants. And it's actually worse than you think. Human trafficking busts, missing children, violent criminals shielded from ICE because some woke mayor wants to look compassionate while your neighborhood suffers. The money you worked for, gone. Your safety, ignored. So today, I want to go ahead and we're putting the two Americas side by side. We're going to put Trump's America, cutting costs, cutting corruption, bringing jobs back, and the clown show America, where failed mayors tax you to death and give the cash away. And by the end of today's video, you're going to tell me which side you're on, because I promise you, once you see the receipts that I've got tonight, you're never going to look at these so-called leaders the same way again. So hang out with me for just a second, because I'm about to show you exactly how Big Pharma has been ripping you off for decades and what President Trump's 60-day ultimatum really means for your wallet, for your bank account. Then, of course, we're going to head straight to Chicago, where your money is being burned faster than you can even earn it. It's ridiculous. You're not going to believe what they're getting away with over there and what it's costing every single one of us. Now, if you appreciate the news updates, please hit the like button and subscribe. I ask you to look around, folks. We're living in two completely different Americas right now. On the one side, you got President Donald J. Trump fighting tooth and nail to cut your costs in half, fighting for your wallet, for your family, for your bank account, for your future. But on the other side, you've got Democrat-run cities like Chicago. They're lighting your hard-earned tax dollars on fire to fund chaos and lawlessness. Think about this for a second, right? A president who wakes up every morning, looks for ways to make life more affordable for you, and mayors who blow hundreds of millions of dollars on illegal migrants, hiking your taxes while ignoring your safety. So which America do you want to live in? Which America do you live in right now? So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around, because in just a second, I'm about to tell you where nearly $700 million of your tax dollars went in Chicago, and it is way worse than anybody thought. Now, first, let's talk about what real leadership looks like, okay? This morning, President Trump dropped a bombshell on Big Pharma. 17 letters, personally hand-signed, not auto-pen, not some stamp, sent straight to the CEOs of Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Bristol Myers Squibb, all of those guys, right? The message: you got 60 days to stop ripping off the American people, or we're coming for you, period. Have a nice day. I added the have a nice day part. But anyway, for decades, guys, Americans have been paying 2-3 times more than every other developed country on earth for the same life-saving medicines. Insulin, $6 and a quarter there, $6 and a quarter here, under $2 in Canada, the UK and Australia. Cancer drugs like Imbruvica, $333 in the United States. $100 elsewhere. And for 60 long years, politicians cashed checks, sat on pharma boards, looked the other way, and left you holding the bill. Family members died because they couldn't afford medication. Well, those days are numbered, because Donald Trump has just said enough. And here's a kicker. It's not just a promise. It's a 60-day countdown. So either Big Pharma, they match their lowest global price for American patients, or the full force of the U.S. government comes down on them. Every tool in their arsenal, every ounce of leverage. Finally, a president with the guts to fight for you, not for the lobbyists, not for the swamp, not for the donors, for you. And now ask yourself this: And this is really where I want to hear from you in the comments. Who are you with? Are you with Trump fighting to cut your drug prices in half, or with Big Pharma, who got rich, making you choose between groceries and medicine? Because there's no middle ground anymore. The line has been drawn in the sand. And while President Trump is fighting for you on prescription drug prices, do you know what your tax dollars are doing in Chicago? Hint: they're not going to schools, they're not making the streets any safer, and they're sure not making life any easier for law-abiding citizens. But what's really happening is really going to piss you off. So let's talk about why you've been paying more for medicine than any other nation on earth for nearly 60 years. Now, this didn't just happen. It wasn't an accident. It was a deal, a very rotten deal between career politicians and Big Pharma. Now, here's how it worked. Politicians took millions in campaign donations, cushy board seats after retirement, insiders, stock tips, and in return, they made sure nothing changed. Prices stay high, patents stayed locked down, middlemen got rich, and patients, well, patients went bankrupt to stay alive. And others just couldn't afford to stay alive, so they had to pass away. Unfortunately, every president before Trump had a choice: fight Big Pharma or join them. Well, guess which one they picked. But Donald J. Trump walked into office with one mission: to break this corrupt chain. He didn't owe these people favors. He didn't care about their stupid little cocktail parties. And so today he's proving it again with this 60-day ultimatum. Either you give Americans the same prices that you give everybody else on the planet, or you face the full wrath of the United States government. Finally, somebody putting you ahead of these swamp creatures. And think about this, because it really should piss you off. For decades, guys, these same politicians looked you in the eye every election year, promising to lower your costs, and then they cashed in their big, huge checks from Big Pharma the moment the cameras were off. Well, today the scam ends, and it is because Trump is willing to fight the battles, to fight that good fight that they were too scared to or maybe they were just too willing to be bought off to fight. And so while the president is slashing costs and saving American families money, what are your Democrat mayors doing with your tax dollars? So let's take Chicago as Exhibit A city that, I used to like visiting. Well, today it is a different world under Mayor Brandon Johnson. Instead of fixing the crime wave, instead of lowering some of the highest taxes in the nation, this mayor has spent nearly $700 million. Now, let me say that again: $700 million on illegal immigrants, housing, handouts, everything you can imagine for people who came here breaking the law. While law-abiding Chicagoans, is that the word, Chicagoans? Anybody from Chicago watching the show? Let me know where you're watching from. While law-abiding Chicagoans are stuck paying more and getting less. Oh, and it gets worse. So the same mayor refuses to let Chicago police work with ICE, even after a major human trafficking bust that rescued victims and put 27 suspects behind bars. He would rather protect sanctuary policies than to protect the people who elected him. Arrests are down, crime is up, businesses are fleeing, Citadel already packed up and moved to Miami. And guess who's footing the bill for this disaster? You, the taxpayer. And here's what really kind of makes me sick to my stomach. Democrat leaders love to talk about compassion. But you tell me, where's the compassion for the mom who's working two jobs, who can't afford groceries because her taxes keep going up, right? Where's the compassion for families losing loved ones to crime that these mayors refuse to stop? They don't care. They just keep writing checks with your money to fund their political theater while you are left holding the bag. But the money and the madness don't stop there. I'm about to show you the human cost of these clown policies, how sanctuary city leaders are creating havens for traffickers and criminals, while 300,000 missing migrant children slip through the cracks. And if that doesn't piss you off, I promise you nothing will. Now, when you're on a fixed income, every dollar counts. Frances Lutero wrote, she said, "We save $65 a month. Chapter was a big help." And Buck, he told me, he left me a comment. He said, "I'm now saving $166 every month. When all you have is Social Security, that's a sweet raise." ladies and gentlemen, this is what Chapter does. This ain't fake. This is real. This is real money. This is real savings. No nonsense. This is why I partnered with them. So don't let hidden costs take food off your table. Give our friends at Chapter a call right now. The call is totally free, and you can just get free advice. You can just ask them a simple question like, call them up right now. Just say, hey, Ron told me to call you. Can you really help me out? No obligation. You can literally get the free advice and be like, all right, that's all I want, and you don't even have to do business with them unless you feel like you should. Anyway, phone number's down below, 909-563-8279, or visit them on the web at askchapter.org/Ron. It's free, it's fast, and you could be saving just like Francis or Buck this time next week. So now, folks, this is really where it gets truly heartbreaking and infuriating. We're not just talking about money anymore. We're talking about lives. Do you guys remember that massive human trafficking bust in Chicago just a few weeks ago? It was like 27 arrests, 27 criminals caught exploiting the broken border policies that Biden left behind, and these clown mayors continue to protect. But here's the terrifying part. They're only just scratching the surface. Nationwide, more than 300,000 migrant children are still missing. Think about that, right? 300,000 kids. That's probably like 10 times the biggest stadiums in the United States. All missing, right? And so where do you think many of them end up? I would think cities like Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, cities that promise to be sanctuaries where the law doesn't touch you if you came here illegally. Do you feel safe knowing that? Do you feel proud of leaders who ignore victims and refuse to help law enforcement because they're too worried about their image? Or do you feel sick knowing that your taxpayer dollars are helping to fund the very chaos that's putting these children and your community at risk? Because this is the human cost of clown politics. Families destroyed, kids lost forever, and leaders who look the other way smiling for cameras while the crisis grows in their own backyard. This is not compassion. This is negligence on a scale that we've never seen before. Now, if you want my best updates, the ones that don't get pushed out there, they're in the breaking news newsletter, free as always. I'll leave a pin link for you guys so you can join my breaking news newsletter in the pinned comment down below. Totally free. Now, let's go ahead and put these two Americas side by side because this is what the mainstream media will not show you. Now, on the one side, you got President Donald J. Trump delivering real results, prescription drug prices slashed in half with the MFN order. You got domestic auto production up 36%, foreign imports down 30%, bringing jobs back home. Over $150 billion in tariff revenue collected. Another $200 billion expected next month. These are big numbers. Government waste cut, right? Federal payroll trimmed by thousands of dollars while private sector jobs boom. These aren't promises, folks. These are receipts. It's happening. This is what putting America first actually looks like. A president who fights Big Pharma, fights corrupt trade deals, and fights to make your life better. Now, look at the other side, the clown show. Your tax dollars burned to the tune of $700 million for people who broke the law to come here. Crime skyrocketing while arrests drop. Businesses leaving in droves because taxes are suffocating them. Kids are vanishing into the chaos of a broken system that nobody in City Hall wants to fix. One leader is cutting costs, cutting corruption, bringing stability and safety back to American families. But the other side, they're burning your future for political points. So which America do you want to live in? Guys, let me know. And so here's the kicker. Here's something that you will not hear. You're not going to hear any of this truth from the media. They're too busy spinning Trump's wins as bad deals, and they're covering these failed mayors. They're covering for them. Now, of course, I want to show you guys how the press is running cover for the clown show that they're trying to tear down a president who's fighting for you. Now, let's talk about the so-called free press that claims to hold leaders accountable. Where are they tonight? Are they celebrating lower drug costs for struggling families? Are they cheering on a president who's standing up to Big Pharma, demanding fairness for every American patient? No, they're not doing that. They're doing what they always do, twisting every win into a loss, and pretending that city mayors setting your taxes on fire is somehow compassionate leadership. Look at the pattern. Trump secures a trade deal that saves jobs, and they call it chaotic. Trump slashes your prescription costs in half. They call it a headline stunt. Meanwhile, these same outlets, they look the other way while Democrat mayors are burning hundreds of millions of dollars on failed sanctuary policies, while businesses flee, while crime surges, while kids go missing. This is not journalism anymore. It's damage control for a political machine that can't afford to let you see the truth. And that truth is President Trump is delivering for the American people while the clowns in charge of these blue cities deliver nothing but pain, chaos, and broken promises. The media does not want you to believe your own eyes, because if you do, then their entire narrative collapses. So here we are, folks. We got two Americas on full display. One where your leader fights for your lower costs, safer communities, more jobs, and a stronger future for your kids, and another America where your leaders sell you out, light your money on fire, protect criminals, and call it progress. This isn't about politics anymore. This is about survival. It's about whether America stays a place where citizens come first, or a place where corrupt politicians and corporate cronies run the show while you pay the bill. President Donald J. Trump has drawn the line. Big Pharma has 60 days to stop overcharging you or face the full might of the U.S. government. Meanwhile, failed mayors, they're proving that they'll never gonna put you first unless you force them to. So I'm asking you right now, which America are you choosing? The America First fight for fairness, or the clown show that bleeds you dry? Drop your answer in the comment down below, guys, because this is the fight of our lifetime. And I need to know where you stand. And don't go anywhere yet, because YouTube believes that you're going to want to see the next video that just popped up on your screen right here. It exposes even more of what the media won't tell you about these corrupt leaders, and you do not want to miss it. Check that video out right now, and I'll see you on the other side.